Let's talk about trucks. I actually had no interest in this area of investment until one of you, Sherry in Dallas, said, "Kerry, you need to look at this, and you need to do a video on it because the trucking industry is going to change because it's a huge industry. All you got to do is go out on the highway, and you can see they're going up and down the highway delivering us our food, our goods, our construction and materials. Anything and everything in this country moves by truck. And the trucking industry is going to change, and you need to address it." Well, I think I addressed it. I own Tesla. It's one of my largest holdings. "No," she said, "you need to get into it further." And so I did. And what I found is there are roughly 2 million trucks in the United States. There's roughly 3.5 million truck drivers, and there's long-haul drivers. There's about 2 million. So it is a major industry. Now, we all know that's moving towards electric, and that's basically because we want our air clean. We don't like seeing that black smoke coming out of the diesel trucks that run up and down our highways. So the clean air is an issue. What I also know is what the truckers are dealing with. I remember when diesel fuel was quite a bit cheaper than gasoline. In fact, we owned a diesel Mercedes, and the only reason we owned it was diesel fuel was cheaper than gas. But that's not true anymore. If you'll notice, diesel fuel is substantially more expensive than gas. Why is that? Well, government is taxing it to make people pay for the air pollution, and I think now to encourage them to find another way. So we know that as a result, Tesla and then Nikola has come forward and said, "Well, we have an alternative for you, and we're going to develop it, and we're going to change the trucks on the highway to electric vehicles." Well, that all sounds real good. And then I got to thinking about my wife's cousin, Dean. Dean's about, I guess he's 48 years old, and he's an over-the-road truck driver, and he owns his own truck. So I had a conversation with Dean, and he told me his truck, this is about his fourth truck. This one, he is 3 years old. He and the bank own it. It cost him $132,600. So, and he says, it basically, the truck pays for itself and it gives me a job. Okay. And so I asked him, what's going to happen as the cost of diesel fuel goes up and they force you to convert to an electric truck? And he and I discussed it, and it turns out that in a Tesla truck, it's going to be about $200,000, and Nikola's truck is going to be about $230,000. So this is where Sherry comes in, and Sherry tells me that I need to take a strong look at Hyliion. So I said, well, first of all, I want to take a look at the owner of Hyliion, and that's Thomas Healy. So I want you to meet Thomas Healy. Here he is.
Hi, I'm Thomas Healy, founder and CEO of Hyliion. Here in our 80,000 square foot headquarters in Austin, Texas, we design and develop electrified powertrain solutions for heavy-duty trucks. As a company, we're on a mission to eliminate the carbon intensity and reduce the greenhouse gas emissions of the transportation industry by being the leading provider of electrified powertrain solutions for commercial vehicles. We are offering some of the most advanced technology by developing our own battery solutions and leveraging data and software algorithms to push the boundaries of where trucks can go. One way we're doing this is with our hybrid electric system, which we are already shipping to fleets. Its modular design allows for easy installation on any Class 8 vehicle, regardless of the manufacturer. And with no driver training required, it provides instant benefits to the environment and immediate savings to customers by way of reduced fuel usage and improved operating costs. Now, let's take a look at the newest Hyliion solution. Our revolutionary product, the Hypertruck ERX, is the future of commercial vehicle transportation. This powertrain can be installed on any chassis and offers all the benefits of being an electric truck without the concerns of range, payload capacity, and refueling infrastructure. By leveraging renewable natural gas to recharge the batteries, the Hypertruck offers the best performance, is the only electric net carbon negative emission solution, and has the lowest total cost of ownership. I founded Hyliion in 2015 with only a few people and a dream. Now, only 5 years later, we're an industry leader in Class 8 electrification with a growing team of talented engineers and visionaries and a robust network of strategic industry partnerships. Hyliion's electric products are already on the roads, and in the coming years, as we develop more of our electrified solutions, we will continue to grow by enabling our customers to achieve both their sustainability and corporate objectives.
So if you didn't totally understand, Thomas is the founder of Hyliion, and what Hyliion does is makes drivetrains. That is to say, they'll take the diesel engine out of a truck and replace it with an electric engine, and then change the drivetrain and put a battery in it, and then put a generator and a compressed natural gas package in there so that you have the torque that is needed to carry the heavy load, that what they call a payload. So what they're looking at is, first of all, helping Deere and then helping the people who have a fleet of trucks. So rather than Deere paying $200,000 for a Tesla truck or $235,000 for a Nikola truck, he can pay $39,000 and have his truck converted. Okay, so $39,000. Now he has to go to the bank and say, look, I need another $39,000 on top of the $132,600 that I borrowed to make an improvement on my truck. Well, Dean, I don't know about that. Well, let me show you. I'm going to save over the next 4 years enough to pay for that by moving from the diesel fuel to electric and natural gas. Oh, okay, the bank says. That sounds like a good deal. Now, what about all the people who drive a Freightliner and a pace car and a Mack truck and all? I think the Cummins diesel makes trucks. I think John Deere makes trucks. All of these truck manufacturers are looking and saying, wait a second, where do we fit into this? Well, look at this. This shows you what the package costs on a new truck. In other words, what they will sell Cummins diesel or Freightliner this package for, $29,000. Well, at the same time, that means they don't put some other things in the truck that they would have. So they save 15 of the 29 for the things that they delete. So the total cost of that package is now $14,000. So they raise the price of their Freightliner and their pace car and their Detroit diesel by 14, but pass a savings on to the fleets or to Dean if he buys a new truck of the fuel savings. So now the question becomes, okay, where do we get the fueling? Well, we know where we get the diesel fueling. We see that as we drive down the highway. And here in the South, it's Pilot, and it's all kinds of different, very fancy truck stop. And that's where they get their diesel fuel. I suspect that if Hyliion gets this package into numbers of trucks, these providers will find a way to provide natural gas. Now, this is also an issue for Nikola. So let's look let's start with Nikola, who has the hydrogen trucks. Where are there places in the United States today where those trucks can refuel with the hydrogen? And you'll see it on this picture that I'm showing you. And you can see there's not many of them. They're basically out around the San Francisco and Los Angeles area. And it looks like there's one somewhere up in by Vancouver. So Nikola's problem is they've got to build all these stations. And they have basically says, as we sell trucks, we'll build the stations that you need for the route you tell us you need. And they are estimating that each one of those stations are going to cost about $2 million, and they're going to pass that cost on to the purchaser of the Nikola trucks. Now, here's the situation relative to compressed natural gas. And as you can see, there is a substantial number of compressed natural gas filling stations across the United States. So that's not really a problem. And as I say, if Hyliion does it right and gets it into these new trucks, Pilot and some of these other people are going to end up putting natural gas fueling stations in their station. It just makes sense. I mean, they've got these beautiful stations. They might as well have some business. Okay, so we've got the fueling covered, fueling situation covered. Now let's look at the cost of in the future. Because the other thing that comes into play here is that when you go to an electric truck, you don't have the power or the torque to pull as heavy a load. So there is a give back in the fact that you aren't going to be able to carry as much steel on the back of that truck as you used to because it's an electric engine as opposed to a diesel engine. And because of the hydrogen boost at some level, Nikola is able to make up for that over the problem with the Tesla truck. But also, we find that the Hyliion truck with the natural gas gives us the ability to get that increased load. So now we've talked about Dean, and we've talked about the builders of trucks. Now let's talk about the other people this is going to affect drastically, and that is the people who own fleets of trucks, the people who own their trucks to move their goods, whether it be FedEx, DHL, UPS, Cisco. Here's a list of them. So these people own these trucks, much as Dean did, and they will have to make the same decision that Dean did, is let's go to the bank, let's make the conversion, and let's pay for the conversion with our savings. That makes good sense. That, to me, says Hyliion has a good business plan to take us to the next step. What Hyliion also has in the makings is then a bigger, more powerful, fully electric and natural gas truck that they will be manufacturing on their own in the future. So how do we get in on this? Hyliion is a private company, and they are involved with Tortoise acquisition. This is the same way that Nikola came to market. They didn't become a IPO. They were organized by a shill company that basically gathers the money, you invest in that company, and then when they go public, Tortoise passes that money on to Hyliion, and they don't have to go through the other rigmarole. So right now, you want to invest in SHLL. We started seeing action on Tortoise acquisitions, SHLL, around June the 19th, and it came out and it was at $13 a share. By the 30th, it was up to 32. Those people made a good bump on their money. Friday, it closed at 24.45. I don't think that the overall market, judging by the volume, is aware of this. I believe this is a gift from Sherry in Dallas. I believe this is an indication of how Best of Us investors is going to work, is that we are going to have a group of people who are interested in the stock market, who are willing to go and do a little bit of research and build a case for something that they think is worthwhile. And then they're going to share it with me, and then I'm going to do some work on it, and some other people are going to do some work on it. And then I'm going to do a video on it, and I'm going to share it with you. So now your investment knowledge goes beyond your brain, goes beyond my brain, and we're just now passing the 25,000 subscribers, up from 1,000 in the late January, and on our way to this time next year to being 1 million. If you aren't a member of the Best of Us Investors Tribe, this is my invitation to you to join. Go right here to this URL, bestofusinvestors.com. Give us your name, give us your email address. We'll put you on our morning market plan letter that we send out every day the market is open. You'll have it usually before 8:30 when the market opens, and we'll share with you the information we have to make you a better investor, to help you find the life that you want in the future. And it goes beyond just investing in the stock market. We're going to get into financial planning. I have written a book to help you take control of your mind, to get rid of that unwanted roommate up in your head so that you can be a better investor and have a happier life. Also, there you're going to find in the description the books that I recommend that you buy, again, so you understand where we are in this world, how we got here, and where we're going in the future. Now, the other thing, and what this all evolves into, is a group of 1 million people, and that's what we'll have. We just passed 25,000, as I said. We're going to have 1 million people by this time last year, and we're going to be sharing our information. It's no cost to be a part of this tribe, but there are a lot of benefits. What I want to happen is what happened here, what Sherry did. She didn't just send me a ticker symbol and say, look into Hyliion. She said, here's some information on it. She put it together. She wrote it. She told me, look at it, and you make a decision. She said, I know you're going to raise your eyebrows because you're all about the big six and the big changers of the world. This is a small company that's just getting started, that the world isn't aware of, and I think, she said, I think they have a plan for the future. I know you know of companies like that as well. You need to share them. You need to do some research and give it to me. I'll do some research, and we'll decide whether or not this is something the tribe should look at. Again, I want to emphasize, I'm buying Hyliion. I believe in them. I believe they have a good, strong business plan. They have a good balance sheet, and they're going to change the way I live. And they're going to change the way Dean lives. They're going to change his truck for $39,000, and the bank's going to finance it for him. So let's do this together.